Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jebediah. If you're brand new to duck hunting, this is the video that you're going to want to watch first. Let's get into it. Well, if you're brand new to duck hunting, this video is going to be a ton of help for you. I know that when I started years ago, I wasted a ton of money and a ton of energy buying stuff that I didn't need and I wasn't even able to use. So here's top five things that you're going to need as you begin duck hunting. I'm making some assumptions already. First one being that you already have a license. You've taken hunter's ed, you've got your license, and you've got the appropriate stamps. So California, where I hunt, requires that you not only have a license, but that also you have an endorsement by California. It's just another way for them to make money. It costs about $25 on top of your regular hunting license. The federal government, though, also requires that you buy a federal duck stamp. That's about, again, another $25. And it is exactly the way it sounds. It is a literal stamp. It's a stamp on the back of your license that you have to show that you've legally paid that fee. So I'm assuming you already have your license. The other assumption I'm going to make is that you already have a gun of some kind. You're going to need a shotgun. If you're brand new to duck hunting and you're a full-size kind of guy, I would recommend a 12-gauge shotgun. They make 20, 16, 28s as well. But you're going to want a 12 if you're brand new to it. And if you can afford it, you're going to want a 3.5-inch chamber. Chamber just means how big, how long the shell can be that will fit in your gun. You're probably not going to shoot 3.5-inch shells, but if you're making purchases, it's helpful to spend a little bit more, and it's not going to be that much more, but a little bit more to get a larger chamber in case you want to be able eventually to shoot larger shells at geese and things like that. So I'm assuming you already have a gun. I'm assuming you have a license. So here's the top 5 things that you're going to need. Number 1, in no particular order, you're going to want some waders. Duck hunting is a water sport. That's why they call them waterfowl. You're going to find them around rivers, marshes, lakes, ponds, and everything in between. You're going to want to stay dry, so get yourself a pair of waders. You don't need to have waders like this. These are Sitka's Delta Zip waders. You don't need to spend $1,000 on a pair of waders. Go to your nearest Bass Pro, go to Cabela's, go to Sportsman's Warehouse, or your nearest sporting goods store and pick up a pair of neoprene waders, at least. They're going to keep you dry. That's going to allow you to stay out there longer. So you're going to need a pair of waders. You're going to look to spend anywhere between $100 and $200 on a pair of waders. Waders, by the way, are sized not in necessarily like girth or length. They're sized in your boot. So they're sized by what shoe you wear. So when you go to the store and you're looking at a size 10, that doesn't have anything to do with your waist. It has to do with your shoe size. So as you buy them online or whatever, find the shoe size that fits you. There'll be some companies that make stout, which is wider waders, but other than that, they're pretty uniform. All sizes fit, everything fits in the same size, but just your boots. So get yourself a pair of waders. That's number 1. Number 2, you're going to want some decoys, something that's going to draw the ducks to your position. This, I would highly recommend. It's called a jerk string. It will give you some motion in the ducks. The way it works is there's an anchor that you throw out into the water. That anchor is attached to a cord, and then there's decoys clipped onto that cord at different spaces. And then that cord is drawn all the way to you with a handle. And when ducks are coming by, you can move the handle, pulling it back and forth, and it will create movement of the ducks like they're swimming around. So get yourself some decoys. They don't have to be great, but get yourself some decoys and get yourself a jerk string. This jerk ring, I think, is about $35, so it's not that expensive, but it will drastically change your success when it comes to decoying birds. So that's number 2. Number 3. This isn't necessarily a need to have, but it's just fun to have, and that's some calls. You don't need to have a bunch like I have. Buy yourself one duck call. It's just a way to pass the time, and it's a way for you to eventually elevate your game to the next level when it comes to duck hunting. The duck call I would recommend the most is this Jace Robertson Pro Series. It's a wood call. If you want to know more about duck calls and how they work, I have a video on my channel about that. If you want to know how to actually call ducks, I have another video on my channel about how to call ducks. So duck calls are a science in themselves. If you want to know more about it, check out those 2 videos. That'll be helpful. That's number 3. Number 4, you're going to want some shells. Every duck hunter has their own preference of shells. If you ask 10 different duck hunters what shell they shoot, you're going to get about 13 different answers. Doesn't really matter. The important thing other than brand, is you're going to want non-toxic shot. So it can't be lead, The United States has outlawed lead shot for waterfowl across the board. There's no state anymore that allows you to shoot lead at a waterfowl. So you're going to use steel, or there's other alloys like tungsten and bismuth that allow you to also shoot those things. Other than steel, those other alloys, tungsten, bismuth, those are going to provide you a denser pellet that will act similar to lead, but they're way more expensive. So if you're brand new to duck hunting, get yourself some steel shot. I recommend size 3 if you're shooting at anything like puddle ducks. So if you're shooting at the typical teal and mallard, go with a shot size of 3. You don't need anything bigger. Anything smaller, especially under shot size 4, you might not have the lethality that you want. So go with a 3. It's a good all-around shot size. If you think you're going to be hitting some geese, then that's when you can get into B and BB size shot. Shot sizes work, though, based on the diameter of the shot. And the bigger the diameter of the shot, the less pellets fit into a shell. So that's a give and take. So you have to figure out how many pellets do I want versus the size that I want. 3-inch shell with shot size 3 is going to be fine, especially if you're getting into duck hunting. So last, you're going to want a headlamp. These things are necessary because as duck hunting happens usually early morning and then late afternoon or late evening, headlamps are really good. This one's made by Coast. I bought it on Amazon. I think it was like $45. It's great. It's rechargeable. It's high lumen output. Headlamps are really, really, really important. Get yourself one that's waterproof because, again, you're going to be in and around water. You don't want to get just a plastic one unless you know it's disposable. And this is one of those things that if you're in the dark and your headlamp runs out, or gets broken or gets wet and it stops working, it just makes for a little bit more complicated. So get yourself a headlamp. I'll put the link for this headlamp in the description down below on Amazon that you can pick it up for yourself. Finally, kind of my last little thing that I think is super important that most duck hunters don't use, and I think they don't use it because they think it's not cool, but it is needed. So this is kind of my last little sneaky sixth, is get yourself some hearing protection. Doesn't matter what kind of hearing protection it is. This is a simple, it's got 2 plugs and a loop in the middle. They make hearing protection that's a little bit more complex. These ones here are made by Decibels. They are they're molded to my ear. These are great. These actually are on Amazon as well for $25 regularly. I'll throw the link for these in the description too, in case you want to find them. I highly recommend these. These work great at canceling out noise. But the reason you're going to want ear protection is the sound that a shotgun makes is very, very loud, and it can damage your hearing long term, and you don't want to do that. So you don't want to make a little bit of fun that you're having in the morning cause long-term permanent damage. So get yourself some hearing protection. It's going to pay off in the long run. You might have some guys that give you some trouble and make fun of you because you whatever. But guess what? You can hear them make fun of you. In a few years, when you make fun of them, they're not going to be able to hear you because they've lost it all from getting in the blind and blasted shotgun shells. So that's it for me. If there's something I missed, leave it down below. Something that you think is necessary as you've hunted or as you're getting into it. Put a comment down below. What did I miss? I am very, very responsive to comments. I usually, almost everyone that gets sent, I'll reply back. I love seeing what you guys have to say. And we're about to hit this YouTube thing really big. And so if you want to be on the front edge and be able to say that as I've grown and this channel gets bigger and bigger, that you've been with me all along, make sure to subscribe now so that you can see and join us on this journey as we put out more content, as we're able to kind of grow and develop. So thanks for watching. And yeah, again, if I missed something, drop it in the comment below.